All right, counter punch boxing. Okay, look, if you're here for the Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez update, you might want to go to about the 5-minute mark. I got to get a few things out of the way real quick. Okay, where do I begin? Number one, we talked about creating a new channel, maybe a podcast. So we are working on it, and I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed. We got a lot of cool things coming, and it just takes time. But so let me just get that out of the way. Okay, number one, number two. Most importantly, actually, I put up a video talking about HBO, Jim Lampley. Gave my opinion on it, that kind of thing. And long story short, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, right? It's like when a bad thing happens, a good thing came about. I was kind of bummed out about it. Basically I put up a video and HBO requested that I take it down, because I guess it reached the ears of HBO and they didn't like what I had to say about Jim Lampley and the commentating and things like that. And I took it down. I really didn't have a choice, actually, but another door opened up, in light of that. And we'll get into that later. So like I said, for whatever reason, I'm glad it happened and I learned a lot from it. And truthfully, I apologize if I offended anyone at HBO. It was never my intention to offend anyone or attack anyone or anything like that. I just gave my opinion, and I don't get on here to offend people or attack, that kind of thing. So, I do apologize. I sincerely do. But I wanted to get that out of the way. Just a couple of things, that I felt like I needed to talk about. So, all right, let's get into it. Now, look, I'm excited. I've been waiting to talk about this, okay? The Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin update. Now, before we do that, I'm going to have a little bit of fun here. The title, okay, will Canelo stand and fight? Okay, now let me just run through a quick list. I keep thinking about this, right? Number one, okay, will he do what he did in the original fight? Is he going to run? Okay, and I've had this debate with probably 100 people out there in the comment section. Even like in my own personal life, I've had heated debates with people. He ran, okay, he complained about Irizlandi Lara running, and that's exactly what he did. But number two, stamina, right? Will the stamina improve? It's no big secret, right? He's got issues. You can go all the way back to the Kirkland fight, and basically he gassed out. You had even Bernard Hopkins got on HBO and talked about it. He talked about him, gassing out and needing to, correct those stamina issues. And, that's, look, boxing, like I say, it's a cardio first sport, okay? If you can outlast the other guy, you have a huge advantage. So, is that stamina going to hold up? Okay, number three, Abel Sanchez says we will see a different Golovkin. He keeps talking about we're going to see a different Golovkin, but I remember, he talked about that in the original fight, okay? And now you have Canelo and Gennady Golovkin talking about how there's no judges needed. The new promo for their rematch is no judges needed, in other words, somebody's getting knocked out, and I kind of believe that, okay? I really do, but I need to see more. It's hard for me to even give a prediction right now. Naturally, I'm probably going to go with Gennady Golovkin because I think, what he needs to correct is a lot easier than what Canelo needs to correct. I mean, Canelo can't, you can't learn to fight 3 minutes of every round, of each and every round in a training camp. Okay, so to me, Gennady Golovkin, he just needs to make a few, realistic, doable, obtainable adjustments, and he can win. So that's why, right away, I'm going with Golovkin, but we'll get into that further. But, like I said, Abel Sanchez, let me read this. He said, we will see a different Golovkin. They are going to watch the fight and correct the mistakes, which is all well and good, but I hope they don't miss the obvious. Gennady Golovkin needs to be more aggressive, okay? And that's just a quote that I took offline because it's the truth, right? Gennady Golovkin, you can adjust all day long, but you've got to be more aggressive. Now, by the way, I gave a couple of updates in the beginning of the video. I forgot to mention one thing. I'm going to basically put out 2, 3, 4, 5 videos a day, and they're going to be quick. And we're talking under 7, 8 minutes a day because, I really want to start covering, the bulk of the boxing news. So I meant to mention that too. But number 4, okay, power shots. Look, both sides have already said whoever lands the big power shot at 90% power, okay, so you're probably the first, 4 or 5 rounds when each guy's fresh, whoever lands that big power shot, could, very likely knock the other guy out. So Abel Sanchez claims Gennady Golovkin never landed a single power shot on Canelo. I mean, how crazy is that? You have Abel Sanchez talking about how, look, Canelo's never felt Gennady Golovkin's power because he didn't really land, a full just 80, 90, or definitely not 100% power shot. So, how does Canelo know? How does any of us, or how does anyone know if he can or cannot handle that power? Because I've gone back and watched it multiple times, and, Canelo was running. He was running so much that, he couldn't land a full flush, clean shot. So I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I would say no. I don't think Canelo can hold up to it, to be honest with you. That's just my honest opinion. And look, not even a year ago, I made a video talking about how Gennady Golovkin hits like a middleweight. They measured the pressure on that science TV show, and, they said, yeah, he hits as hard, pounds per square inch, as hard as a damn heavyweight, or a light heavyweight, light heavyweight, knocking out light heavyweights in sparring, that kind of thing. So, like I said, I need to see, the training camp and the build up to the actual fight. Now, another interesting thing as far as the update goes, they talked about Gennady Golovkin moving up to 168 pounds after the Canelo fight. They said, yeah, we might go for Billy Joe Saunders, but they're really talking about him moving up. Now, I wonder, because remember the midsection, the Triple G, he looked a little soft. I talked about it, countless times before the original fight, how he looked a little bit soft in the midsection. So I wonder, is he having trouble keeping or getting that weight off? Because the older you get, the harder it is. Trust me, I'm getting older, and the older I get, I'm telling you, it is incredibly hard to get a pound or two off. It really is. So I wonder if that's why they're moving up. And will it be an issue, in the rematch? Will it be an issue? So one more thing I want to touch on, the officials, who's going to be the judges? Right now it's for the venue, okay, and this is kind of like breaking news here. T-Mobile Arena, Madison Square Garden will battle to host the Golovkin-Canelo rematch. So they're talking about who's it going to be, and man, I don't know. I don't know. I know Canelo favors T-Mobile Arena, obviously. I think Gennady Golovkin would do better in New York. I think he'd get a, kind of a fair shake, possibly. I was hoping for Cowboy Stadium, Dallas, Texas, something like that, but I would much rather see it go to New York than to T-Mobile Arena. Any day. Keep it out of Vegas. Vegas, we know them judges, man. Yeah, we know what's up with the Vegas judging. Okay, there's no need to elaborate. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will go to New York. I hope anyway. But but yeah. I thought that was very interesting that it was like, I never thought of it. Like, wow, Gennady Golovkin never landed like a clean power shot. Like, really? Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, maybe there was a couple that, you could consider it. But, and furthermore, did he land a clean power shot on Gennady Golovkin? That's what I mean. I think both guys have a lot to prove. And this is basically a redo, but I keep going back to that conversation I have with Oscar De La Hoya, and maybe in my next video I'll show that interview while I'm talking when I interviewed Oscar, and he kept talking about a trilogy. He's like, yeah, and this is like during the Canelo Chavez fight. He was talking about a trilogy, so maybe that's what's happening here. You got a draw, but who wins part two? I don't know. And will there be a trilogy? I don't think so. I really don't. I think after this, they're gonna figure out who's best, who won, who lost, that kind of thing. You guys know my opinion. Gennady Golovkin won, no problem, 8 rounds to 4. But although right after the fight you had Canelo, talking to the, they're doing the interviews, and he's like, oh, I won 7 or 8 rounds easily, and it's like, how can you say that, man? Like, go, But I guess at that point, he didn't go back and watch it, because after, I wonder after he watched the actual fight, the replay, I wonder if he felt he won 7, 8 rounds. I doubt it. But look, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to make the video too long. I wanted to hop on here real quick, get things rolling again. But like I said, I had a couple of videos up and they took them down. They got taken down. But again, thank you. Really, it was a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. So, and I'm grateful for you guys, for supporting the channel, because the channel's growing tremendously. But I know it's time for a change. We need to step up our game, and that's exactly what we're going to do.